the caffeine, the nicotine, and things of that, all the processed foods that the adults have. And two, when they're put into a state of fear, their energy field and their adrenaline just explodes, and they get a rush from it. Be dedicated to family and be dedicated to each other, folks. That's the only way we're going to get through a lot of this. Next question. You're welcome.
Well, my adrenaline's rushing after that last statement. Alex, what is it precisely about the human mind that makes us so worthy to be feared and suppressed? What is it that's very unique to our 22-strand genetic makeup? And also, what is our free will compared with their free will? It seems to imply that, do they have free will in the same way that we do?
Okay, is that it?
That's that question. The second thing is you haven't finished the earth changes yet.
Thank you for busting me. I appreciate it. Okay. As far as our mind, I don't really know that it's so much the mind as it is our extremes of emotions, our essence. They've always stressed not so much what's in the mind, even though that's important to be able to control the creative force of emotions. It's more so the emotions. Because we are able to contain all of that inside physical form, that's what they're most attracted to. Because they want that, because the races have lost, I've said this before, some of their passion, and they are becoming more and more dependent on technology. And here we are steeping ourselves deeper and deeper into physicality, when in fact we have the ability to just leave all this behind. So we are not correctly using our power as a race. In fact, we're wasting it. And they're more attracted to that. And I'll do the earth changes after we've gone through a lot more questions. Okay? Next. Thank you for your patience.
We're not supposed to put many questions. I have more, but
just one.
I pick up just the most important for me. It's about implants, and if you know specifically about the neutral implant by Cryon.
About what?
Cryon, the neutral implant. Do you know something?
I know absolutely nothing about that.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but I do know a little bit about implants, and getting back, this will work together. As far as our free will compared to other races' free will, they're really one and the same. It's just that we don't realize the power of our free will. We don't totally realize the sovereignty that our free will gives us. And that is why they are manipulating us through belief systems to try to get us to relinquish our free will by using our free will to say, okay, yes, you can come down and control us. Because then it's a choice. Okay? As far as the implants, what I do know is that there are a lot of races that have been abducting people and putting implants in them, and it is a sign or a seal of ownership. Okay? They feel that they own you. Now, the Greys have done this a lot because the United States government gave them permission to do it. We were sold out, basically. That's what I know. I do know that many of the implants can be neutralized using a very strong ultraviolet light. Anybody else? Gosh, you guys are getting crowded over there.
I'm sure I speak for all of us. She mentioned earlier that this was a treat for you. It's very much a treat for us as well. Okay, I have two questions. They're relatively unrelated. The first one, if you get an opportunity later on and have time, I would be very interested in hearing, but the second one is what I would like to ask you about. The first one is, you mentioned that the Andromedans know Ramtha as the commander. Are there any other beings that they have mentioned, and does this in any way tie in with why other races, along with the Andromedans, regard us as special? That's if you get an opportunity later on. The second question that I want to ask you is, the Andromedans have mentioned several changes about to occur, what Jay-Z referred to. Sovereignty is a major concern for many of us. Many of these changes are going to represent financial opportunities as they unfold. I know that dates and specific levels or prices are mutable and subject to change, but have they given you any signposts or preliminary events to watch out for that indicate that change is imminent or about to happen? Thank you.
The earthquakes are changes, are signs. The volcanoes are signs. When you start to see large groups of people resigning from world government, that will be your biggest sign that shit's about to hit the fan. Okay? Many of our world leaders have been promised underground facilities, and some even on the moon. And folks, there are bases on the moon that were built by the United States, Russians, and the British, using British money. And I would suggest to you very, very strongly, you keep an eye on Charles, Prince Charles. Okay? Just watch. No, just watch. Then don't. Next question, please. Next question, please.
When you spoke about the transition between going from fourth density to fifth density, how are we going to know that we made that transition?
Okay, that's an easy question. Okay, we live in a color spectrum of 72 frequencies, or 72 colors. When you get to fifth density, there are 223 different frequencies and colors. You will see colors you have never ever seen before, and it'll be just like that. And you know you will be there. Okay? Yes, sir. I mean, when McDonald's has purple arches, then you'll know.
Do the Andromedans have a military? And do they have a financial system, anything like ours?
Okay, great question. No, they have no financial system. Everything that they create technologically is used for the advancement of their race. It is for educational purposes only. But it can be used in defense. No, they do not have an army or a military per se. They are scientists. What they do is they send their children to school from anywhere from 150 to 200 years. This is our time. Well, they live 1,000 years, 1,500, 2,000 years. And what they do is they teach their students all of the arts and sciences. They are literally PhDs or masters in everything. Then at that point, they have the choice as to what it is they want to do. And they can change their minds in a heartbeat and do something else. So they are given all the tools. Everything is for education. Nothing is for distraction. Okay, they would never conceive of creating television as a distraction. Never. Okay, everything is to help them evolve. And their science and their technology can be used in defensive purposes. Mostly the holographic stuff. Yes, sir.
I'm wondering if you could elaborate on the Dracos and Hale-Bopp a little bit.
What I have shared is really all that I know. I just know that life is going to be very different. They say it's a comet. It's not a comet. I can tell you this, that it has split into two pieces, and both pieces are rotating, okay, around an invisible axis. They're rotating like this as it's moving. And something that a friend told me that she heard on Art Bell, and I have not confirmed this, okay, so this is still rumor, but apparently an astronomer was on Art Bell and he called and said that they have seen a large craft that is now flying alongside Hale-Bopp that's larger than the Earth.